A Military Domestic Violence Sex Crime Guide. Chapter 1. Family Sexual Violence in the Military. Military Sexual Trauma/MST. Military sexual trauma, MST, can lead to PTSD. Military sexual trauma, MST, is sexual harassment or sexual assault that happens while you are in the military. Sexual harassment may include a put-down because of your gender, flirting when you've made it clear it's not welcome, sexual comments, touching or grabbing, intercourse, oral or anal sex, penetration with an object. IPV is domestic violence. It means intimate partner violence. IPV could include any of the following: physical violence, hitting, pushing, grabbing, biting, choking, shaking, slapping. Sexual violence, attempted or actual sexual contact without your consent. Threats of physical or sexual abuse. Words, looks or gestures to control or frighten. Psychological or emotional abuse. Humiliating, putting down, isolating, threatening. Stalking, following, harassing. Or unwanted contact that makes you feel afraid. Does your partner control all of the family income and budget? Control your work or your schooling? Does your partner keep you away from friends and family? Control you by questions and threats about what you do, where you go and people you see? Does your partner put you down? Or make you feel guilty or ashamed? Blame you for the abuse? Does your partner make or carry out threats to hurt your body or your feelings? Or those of someone you love? Threaten to ruin your reputation? Threaten to take your children away? Does your partner scare you by breaking or destroying objects? Or punching holes in walls? Hurting or threatening pets? Does your partner physically or sexually assault you or your children? Institutional rape, military rape. Institutional rape is what happens when you're in a mini-system closed off from the rest of society, and there's a certain mentality within this system which most of its members are brainwashed by, and because of this, some of the higher UPS intimidate the low-ranking people to the extent that they rape them, then threaten them with ruin within the system if they tell anyone. 2 places this commonly happens is in the military and in prisons with male guards and female inmates. If you think that a sergeant or officer can't intimidate a private or corporal into having sex with them in this modern world, then you don't know what it's like living in one of these closed-off systems. The reward system they set up, made up of promotions, awards, and accolades, mean nothing next to the purity in my soul, but young, well-intentioned, seemingly strong-minded, upright, ambitious girls and guys get sucked into this mentality, then allow themselves to get raped by their superiors. It's not rape in the classical sense like a thug jumping somebody on the street, but it's more like seductive intimidation carried on in an air where sexual harassment protection is paid lip service, and everybody within the system is geared to keep the image squeaky clean, so even the EEOC officer or the command office is firstly loyal to the system, so a girl who has just been raped very rarely has any allies or any place she can go to in the system to get justice and support. They will try to intimidate her to keep quiet and get out. The military rape cases I heard in the media on democracynow.org were all similar. First they brainwash people with the chain of command mentality, then somebody with rank abuses it. Why would any sane young girl who was reasonably attractive join a male-dominated, chauvinistic organization made up men who are trained to be killers, many of whom have no outlet for their sexual desires and are at that age of youth where they are typically arrogant, aggressive, one-dimensional, and stupid, especially in a system that encourages them all to compete with each other as to who's the biggest alpha male. In the cases of the rapes at the United States Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs, they were date rapes in some cases, like the guy in the room with the girl in the same year as her, therefore the same rank, and she thinks he drugged the drink he mixed for her, but in most cases, they were full-fledged rapes, no dates, just forcible rape by an acquaintance at the institution. These girls claim they were brainwashed beforehand, that they were told through the grapevine that any girl who was raped or sexually harassed and complained was ostracized as the one who broke the code of unity and silence supposedly implicit in this supposed noble place. They said that their careers would be ruined once they reported the rape. According to the article I read in Vanity Fair and the commentary on the internet, in all but one case, in my opinion, the girls could have gotten out of it by screaming and fighting like mad women, but they didn't. They stayed there and took it because of all this cultural brainwash about the code of silence, the men's club, and the argument that girls don't belong there because of the possibility of such situations as this. There was one case where the guy invited the people in his squadron to his parents' boathouse, then locked the girl in the bedroom and proceeded to rape her while the people outside heard and started banging on the door. If they were really responsible, they would have kicked the door open, then thrown the guy off her, taken photographs, or at least testified in open court what they saw, but they didn't, which leads me to conclude they were a bunch of little conformist wimps who allowed themselves to be brainwashed by the system. These girls should have had the instincts to not roll into a ball and play out the learned helplessness victim role. Most of these rapes took place in the dorms. The guys told them to keep quiet or their careers would be over, and they did. The guys messed up, but the girls messed up too by letting them do it. It shows how powerful indoctrination can be, such that the girls take it because they don't want to ruin their careers, as they said. If they had screamed, clawed, and fought, they never would have been raped. The fault is partially with the so-called code of the Academy for sweeping the few cases that were ever reported under the rug before the floodgates of the scandal were opened. In my opinion, anywhere that male and females cohabitate together under 35 years old, like a military boot camp, college setting, an educational trip, a fraternity mixer, a reformatory, jail, etc., the leaders at that venue should sit them all down together and spell it out. Rape is rape. It doesn't matter if you know the guy or if he's an upperclassman. He's just another human being. If he doesn't have enough control to resist his sexual urges around other people and proceeds to rape them, he deserves to be in jail, not just to be slapped on the wrist, given a wink and told implicitly by the system, boys will be boys. Don't worry about it. That cold, tight bitch got what she deserved. She needed it anyway to loosen her up. This is the mentality we're dealing with. Is it any wonder women are raped by seemingly decent guys when these guys have been bombarded with beer commercials all their lives about women being sex objects, there for men's pleasure, even by force? If you're being raped in one of these civil situations with people around, don't second-guess yourself about the politics of it. If you don't do anything about it right there and then, it's your fault too for being a wimp about it. You reap what you sow. This is the kind of society we've sown for ourselves, that the push of being successful and getting a career within the system is the only true measure of worth, so pervasive, in fact, that people routinely sacrifice their identities and dignity for it. If the Air Force is that low that they cover up the criminal acts of its members, why would you want to be a member of it? Get the guts to get over the illusions of the system and live your own life. Intimate partner violence/IPV. IPV is domestic violence. Does your partner put you down or make you feel guilty or ashamed? Does your partner make or carry out threats to hurt your body or your feelings or those of someone you love? Does your partner scare you by breaking or destroying objects or punching holes in walls? Does your partner use words, looks or gestures to control or frighten you? Does either partner or ex-partner use stalking, following, harassing, or unwanted contact that makes you feel afraid? Does your partner control all of the family income and budget? Control your work or your schooling? Does your partner keep you away from friends and family? Control you by questions and threats about what you do, where you go, and people you see? Does your partner put you down, or make you feel guilty or ashamed? Blame you for the abuse? Does your partner make or carry out threats to hurt your body or your feelings, or those of someone you love? Threaten to ruin your reputation? Threaten to take your children away? Does your partner scare you by breaking or destroying objects, or punching holes in walls? Hurting or threatening pets? Does your partner physically or sexually assault you or your children? Sexual violence prevention programs in the military. The idea is to tell them to help out as bystanders when they see something wrong. Family Service Center is a social service agency for military personnel and their families that helps with sexual assault. Sexual Assault Victim Intervention Program /SAVI is a specialized advocacy program for survivors in the Navy. sexualassault.army.mil/what-is.cfm, Strong is the Army's campaign to combat sexual assaults. Vanity.org, DoD's, and the Coast Guard's sexual assault prevention and response programs. catharsisproductions.com/audiences/military, moral development education, sexual assault prevention in the military context. InvisibleWarMovie.com, The Invisible War, investigative documentary about rape within the U.S. military. ProtectOurDefenders.com, Protect Our Defenders, voice to the brave women and men in uniform who have been raped or sexually assaulted by fellow service members. StrongBonds.org, Army Strong Bonds Program. A unit-based chaplain-led program, strengthening the Army family. ABlackRose.org. A Black Rose, abused and sexually assaulted. FocusProject.org. Focus, family resiliency training for military families. A service initiated by the Bureau of Medicine and Surgery, BUMD. Resources for military survivors. Safe Helpline. Safe Helpline is the Department of Defense's, DoD, sole hotline for members of the DoD community affected by sexual assault. SafeHelpline.org. 877-995-5247. The U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. va.gov/health-care/health-conditions/military-sexual-trauma. 844-698-2311. United States Naval Academy's Legal Counsel Program. The Navy Victims Legal Counsel Program provides survivors of a sexual offense with a dedicated attorney to help victims understand the investigation and military justice process, guard their legal rights and interests, and obtain additional support in accessing resources that may assist in their recovery. jag.navy.mil/legal_services/vlc.htm. Stateside Legal. Stateside Legal is a one-stop shop that aims to help members of the military, veterans, and their families access free and low-cost legal service providers, state agencies, law school clinics, and other resources that can help enforce legal rights and benefits, and provide specialized information and resources for advocates and attorneys who want to help veterans, service members, and their families. Stateside-legal.org/military-sexual-trauma-resources-women. Military sex crime websites. Afterdeployment.org. HumaneVentsOnline.com. National Suicide Toll-Free Hotline Number, 1-800-273-TALK. ptsd.va.gov/public/pages/ptsd-suicide.asp, PTSD and suicide. ptsd.va.gov/public/pages/women-trauma-and-ptsd.asp, women, trauma, and PTSD. publichealth.va.gov/womenshealth/faqs.asp, women veterans health care. publichealth.va.gov/womenshealth/trauma.asp, women veterans health care, military sexual trauma. RAINN.org, Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network. SAPR.mil, Sexual Assault Prevention and Response Office. va.gov, U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. va.gov/viewpublications/view-publication.asp?pub_id=1861, women veterans health care. This brochure lists the various health care services available to women veterans. va.gov/Center for Minority Veterans, Center for Minority Veterans, VA. va.gov/WomenVet, Center for Women Veterans, VA. winesofchange.net/archives/003811.php, Air Force rape scandal.